Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to your Monday edition of the Two Buck Sports Show. I am your co-host, Rusty Buckets, checking in with my guy, Drew Gann, a.k.a. Uncle Buck, here on Sunday night. And no, I'm not little Sebastian, but I am a little hoarse from the Mississippi State game yesterday. So if you hear that, I do apologize for that in advance. We are pre-recording because I do have work still on Mondays. But Drew, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm good. You like that? You like that little Sebastian reference?
I did. You know, I typically hate your puns, but that was, if you can work in little Sebastian into anything, I'm going to be a fan. It doesn't matter how bad it is. R.I.P. He's 5,000 candles in the wind.
That's it. I don't care what Ben Wyatt says. Little Sebastian is the GOAT.
I had a good weekend, man. Everything's good here. We're going to get into our weekends and whatnot, but it is, listen, just for the sake of everything that's already happened this Sunday evening, it's 10 after 9 Central Standard Time in God's country of North Mississippi and West Tennessee. If anything happens at, say, 10:30, 11 o'clock, like, hey, we'll catch you on Tuesday, but you never can tell.
Yeah, that's it. You never can tell. So we got some hirings, more so firings to get to here in a few minutes. But we got a lot to discuss. Before we do that, Drew, we've got some buffoonery that we need to get out of the way.
That's right, Buckets. It is our Monday edition of the Two Buck Sports Show. That means we're going to start it off with our best and beef of the weekend. This is a podcast co-hosted by two friends of over a decade, and we go our separate ways over the weekend. We do our things. We're in different stages of life, and so we use the first segment of our first show to just be friends, catch up, see how everything went over the weekend. Luckily for everybody, we boil them down to 2 points. It is our best thing that happened to us this weekend and our biggest beef of the weekend. Rusty, I set them up. You knock them down. Tell them who's sponsoring the show, the segment, and give me your best of the weekend.
Best to be brought to you, as always, by Donna's Italian Beef, 519 Constitution Drive in Iuka, Mississippi. Shout out to Jim and the gang there for the best sack lunch on your way to Pickwick. Biscuits and gravy, tenderloin biscuit, slug burgers. If you know, you know. Tell them the $2 sent you. They'll fix you up. And if you send us a picture of our picture in Donna's Italian Beef, we'll get you a prize. I've got stickers. We'll send stickers out. We'll do something. But Donna's Italian Beef brings you best in beef every single week. And my best of the week was I had a day yesterday. It culminated in getting kicked in the nuts last night. And I have enjoyed actually being kicked in the nuts more than last night. I told Drew last night if it hadn't been for Cedric Howard, I'd have been driving northbound in the southbound lanes on Highway 45. But my buddy Joey Cunningham and I took a trip down to Starkville yesterday, had an absolute ball. It was a great time. I left Memphis at 8 o'clock yesterday morning. I got back at 10 p.m. last night. But we had a ball, man. We hit up Maroon and Company, Campus Bookmart. We saw my buddy David Adams and his wife and her family's tailgate, hung out there for a bit. That was my first time, obviously, in Starkville since they updated the LED lights and the game day experience. It is night and day. It was my first home game since 2019 when I watched LSU. I've seen them play in Columbia. I've seen them play in Knoxville. I've seen them play elsewhere. You did. We went to that game.
I think that may have been when you met Haley for the first time. Am I misremembering that?
No, it was because we met her at your little apartment there.
Because you lived in Myrtle Beach at the time. You came in for that game. You brought in
my boy Keith,
long lost, dearly missed Keith and Caitlin, and you got to meet my better half for the first time.
Original friends of the podcast, Caitlin Scott, her former husband Keith Scott with the hat up here, always in every single episode of the Two Buck Sports Show. Keith Scott is represented by the Huck hat you see hanging on my bookshelf. If you're wondering why I had a hat hanging there, it's because it is for the gone too soon Keith Scott, who passed away this month 4 years ago now. It's hard to believe it's been that long, but RIP the real one. It was 21, 22, so 3 years.
It was when we started the podcast.
It was 3 years, because it's right. It's 3 years, right before we started the podcast. End of October 2022. RIP Keith Scott. But yeah, so it was a great game day experience. Had an awesome time. It really was a lot of fun. being there. We'll get to the game here in a little bit, but the game day experience is much better with the LED lights and the hype videos and all the things that surround game day there in Starkville. It was a really, really good day yesterday, despite the absolute mule kick in the nads at the end of the night.
Oh, we can't relate. So my best of the weekend. So again, we had a good day yesterday too. For the first time all year, I watched the game with my pops and my mom, and so the family descended on Cottonwood, Mississippi, to watch the game with my mom and dad because of travel ball and just different obligation stuff. I've not been able to watch a game with my dad, and so we got to watch Ole Miss and Oklahoma play. We had a much better ending than what you had. Yeah. But not without what felt like a couple kicks to the nads as well. Luckily, we got the last kick, unlike Mississippi State did last week against Florida. And sorry,
I am teetering on the edge here, brother.
I'm trying so hard to get Rusty just to shut this podcast down.
Yeah.
But the real best of the week is we went last night to the campground, which, we went to the campground a couple weeks ago. My mother-in-law was right around the corner. All of the things that they like to do for fun typically revolve around that campground, and we love it. And so they had their trick-or-treat last night, and my goodness, Rusty, you have never seen the likes of the amount of kids that went from campsite to campsite last night trick-or-treating. It was so much fun. I was a little chapped to go as a good husband and father and wanting to do things that my wife wants to do, as much as equity as she lends me to watch the Grizzlies in college football. I just smiled and said, let's go. Dude, it was incredible. The setup. Every single campsite had just inflatable whatevers, things that were jumping out and scaring, the little jumping spiders and stuff that you set up.
That's fun.
I had so much fun. And it was a lot of work, lugging around a 1-year-old Hulk and a 3-year-old kitty cat the whole way. But man, we had fun. So
good, man.
I had a pretty good Saturday. So, but unfortunately, Rusty, as you know all too well, what goes up must come down. This leads to our biggest beef of the weekend. Just take it away, brother.
I am a Mississippi State sports fan. I am a fan of the Mississippi State football team. And every single week, we get up, we get ahead, and we normally don't do these about sports, but guys, I am in a dark place. I am in an abusive relationship with my college football team, because for the third time in the last 5 weeks, we were on the precipice of beating a good football team and getting that first SEC win.
Now Texas is good. Okay.
I mean, they are a top 25 team.
Absolutely.
Yes. I am.
I'll just hold on. Let me do it for you.
Yeah, exactly. Take yourself off the stage. But I am a Mississippi State football fan, and for the third time in 5 weeks, we were ahead. We normally don't make these about sports, but I am in a dark place. Like I said, I mean, we were up 31-17 in the fourth quarter. We were cruising. This was our night. I mean, Joey and I were having a ball. We were dancing. We were ringing our cowbells. We were having an absolute blast. And he's not even a Mississippi State fan. He's a Tennessee Vol fan, but he wanted to go and experience Davis Wade because we both felt like this was the game that State could truly, truly win. And we did for, 60 minutes? We did for 54 minutes of the game.
Oh, no, it was 56 when that punt got returned and 2 minutes to go.
And when that happened, he turned to me. He's like, you got to believe. And I said, brother, I have seen this movie before. I know how this ends. I know how this ends. And I text my buddy David Adams, who was about 4 sections down. And I said, I don't like how this movie ends. And he said, we're going to see if we're mature enough to hang on. And the last text message we exchanged was him replying to himself and saying nope. So my biggest beef is that I graduated from Mississippi State University and they are my football team that I root for.
Hey, you know what? There are.
It could be worse. I could be a Titans fan. Oh wait, we got our butt kicked by the Colts today. How about that? Football.
Thank God the Grizzlies played the
when Drew called
Pacers.
me Saturday. When Drew called me Saturday, he said, "How are you holding up?" And I said, "Cedric Coward is the only reason I'm not driving northbound in the southbound lane on Highway 45 right now."
Rusty would be We'd be planning a church service around Rusty if we didn't have that Pacers game on Saturday
night. If it
night.
wasn't for Cedric Coward, my face would be on a T-shirt right now.
It's not funny, but because I don't like seeing you miserable. But we have now reached the time of the football season in which our relationship will be strained because your only wins will be Ole Miss losses, and that's what you will root for more than anything.
We got Arkansas this Saturday. God help us if we don't beat Arkansas. If we don't beat Arkansas, they're going to put Jeff Lebby on a spit roast, not a hog. I guarantee.
If you don't beat Arkansas this weekend, I'm scared the whole team just says, "What are we doing?"
Yeah, because then
we've made it longer than we've tried a lot harder than anybody's has here since Mike
Arkansas. You go to Arkansas, which sucks. But then Georgia comes to town. Oh wait, then you go to Missouri. Great, we go home the next week for Ole Miss. So it's just like. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You've got to win this Saturday.
Yeah, we're gonna talk more football in a minute. My biggest beef of the weekend is gonna sound spoiled a little bit, but the kids fell asleep on the ride home from church today, and so we got to the house about 2:30, and the kids are still asleep. And I was like, oh well, if we can navigate this correctly and get the kids to the beds without them waking up, your boy can take a nap. And let me tell you what, it was executed to perfection. The babies kept sleeping, and I never take a nap. I rarely take a nap, and I never take a nap in my bed. But I put on the Ole Miss Oklahoma game, see if I missed anything. And buddy, let me tell you what, Ole Miss hadn't kicked that first field goal before I was out, and I slept until 5:30. And you know that feeling when you wake up, especially in the wintertime, and it's like dark outside, and you're like, what day is it? Like, that's what I did. I was like, holy crap, I don't know. I should not have done this. And so you feel groggy for like 45 minutes afterwards as you're trying to wake up. Luckily, Jenny woke up with me, and we just got to like wake up slowly together on the couch, which was nice. But like, we wake up from those naps, and it's just kind of like, oh my goodness.
My dad loves to tell the story of I was in like the 6th grade, and it was a Sunday evening, and he was in the bathroom like organizing stuff, and I come in, I'm putting deodorant on, start brushing my teeth. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm getting ready for school. He was like, why? I was like, well, I just woke up. It's Monday morning. And he was like, dude, it is Sunday night. And sure enough, I had taken one of those naps and thought it was Monday morning for school, getting ready. I had a Garfield shirt on. Shout out Luke Hatmaker, actually.
And what in the world are you going to do now?
At that point.
You're not going back to sleep. One of the best pranks that was ever played on me was we were at church camp when I was in high school. And I was in a room with some friends. You would all know them, but you would know them all. And I went to sleep first. And this is before the days where you realized that there were punishments if you fell asleep first. And I did. I was tired. We'd been playing all day. Exhausted. And the most clever thing I've ever experienced is they took all the lamps in the room, put them behind the shades, the drapes in the window, changed every clock to 7 a.m. It's like 11 o'clock. And then proceeded to wake me up and be like, buddy, you're going to be like, they got dressed for the day. And, dude, you better get in that shower. You're going to be late. The bus is going to leave you. You're not going to eat breakfast. And I went and got in the shower. And when I got in the shower, I came back out. The lights are off. The clocks are changed. Back in there, all asleep. Like, you got to be kidding me.
That's amazing.
Great.
That's amazing.
I just couldn't help but laugh.
That's amazing. Well, hey, we're going to keep the best in beef buffoonery short and sweet tonight as we transition. But we do that every single Monday. Y'all come hang out with us, find out about our weekend. Let us know how your weekend was in the comments. We want to know. We'll watch back. We'll listen. We'll see the comments as we watch back. We want to know how your weekends were. But on the other side of this commercial break, we got a heat check to do on Beal Street, a game for tonight as of your listening, and some rumblings and changes in the college football atmosphere.
You know who the big all-in target is? That would be Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss.
Historically, Florida, much better football program than Ole Miss. I don't think it makes any sense. I think it's a lateral move at best for him to go to Florida. It's not the Spurrier era anymore. It's not the Urban Meyer era anymore. They haven't been consistently nationally relevant since Urban Meyer, which some people may be looking around going, that wasn't that long ago. Tim Tebow won the Heisman almost 20 years ago. Lane is the freaking president of Oxford right now. Like, he is the most beloved figure in that city currently. He can do no wrong. He has job security out the wazoo. He is beloved, and he can do whatever he wants in Oxford, Mississippi. You go to Gainesville, and you lose 4 or 5 games. I mean, we've seen it.
Win it. Go 8-4 2 years in a row.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 10 a.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Oh, shout out to my guy, Coach Isolo, bro. Like, it's 2 things he did that are so anti-Taylor Jenkins, bro. Was the art of John Conchar. I know what you provide. I know you provide rebound. I know you provide effort.
Yeah.
Go, give me some John Conchar minutes. Let me see what you do. Okay, your ass. Come sit back, buddy. Come sit back down. Come sit by me, son. We'll try it next game. I like that, man. The quick pull. Like, okay, man. Jitty, you looking ass. Come sit down. He didn't let a run get destroyed or let a run jump off or let a stretch of assness run with John Conchar in the game. You looking shitty. Come sit your jitty ass down.
That's right.
The quick pull, man. Pulling you before you get ass, bro. Like, I see the asses is coming, bro. I know there's an expiration date. I know that milk is going to sour, man. So just come sit down by me.
There's an expiration date on good ass. Now it's bad.
Yeah, be ready for Friday. I need that again. Yeah, man. It's just knowing you giving me all you're gonna give me, bro.
Yes.
Tune in to the Anthony Sain Show Monday through Fridays at 1 p.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Welcome back to the $2 Sports Show Monday edition of the show. You just heard our best and beef of the weekend. It's a lot of fun. You got to touch base with the people, not just the sports personalities, the internationally acclaimed sports personalities that are me and Rusty Buckets. And so now we're going to check in with our Grizzlies. I love this segment. I love the way that we're going to frame this season. I'm excited to see how it plays out, what kind of perspective that it offers. But we're going to take this in 10 game samples. We're calling it our Beal Street Heat Check. Is that what?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
And so Grizzlies 3 games in. We're not going to pay attention to the middle game. You know, the middle part of the Orioles is the worst part, and so we're going to pretend like that game against the Miami Heat didn't.
I'm sorry, we're not going to glaze over that.
Didn't matter.
The middle part of the Oreo is the worst part.
I'm just saying, like, it's best together, no doubt. I'm not going to get too spicy here for the Heat Check. But if I had to eat one plane, I don't want any part of just the filling by itself. I don't understand the people that take the Oreo apart and eat the center. Like, that's criminal behavior, in my opinion.
That's fair. No, but I do like a mega stuff that's got more middle than cookie.
No, I disagree there. And I think that's probably the genesis of this revelation that was bestowed upon me in a vision one night. Is I had one of the super mega ultra uber stuffed Oreos that looked like an ice cream sandwich, and I was like, "There's not enough cookie here. There's a ratio. There is a ratio, and the mega stuffed is too much stuff.
I will say the double stuff.
Double stuff is peak. Peak.
That's peak. Yeah. Mega stuff is still good, but they're both better than the regular.
Yeah, the regular you might as well just go eat a cookie. Just a standard chocolate
in order,
cookie.
If you rank those 3, it would be double stuff, mega stuff, regular. That's all
Yeah,
I'm
but I may end up like, hey, Jenny, you want a little bit of this stuffing?
saying.
You know,
Not me. But the Memphis Grizzlies are 2-1 on this young.
Please get us on track.
2-1 on this show. So you give me a hard time when I'm not here for keeping the show professional, but I at least keep us on target. I keep it professional and keep us on target.
Well,
Memphis Grizzlies are 2-1 with a blowout win over the Pacers, an opening night win over the Pelicans, and a game we will not talk about, a Miami Heat revenge game as they were playing for their boy Terry Rozier. Drew some.
Nobody's going to accuse us of taking the under.
Oh.
We're going to score 86 points in the first half.
Exactly. The trends that I am noticing, a couple things I wanted to talk about were, one was addressed today in the signing, the 10-day signing today of Bassey. Charles Bassey. Thank you. Couldn't remember his first name. Charles Bassey. Post player. He defends the rim, formerly with the San Antonio Spurs. He defends the rim and he rebounds offensively, especially, but he rebounds the ball really well. Two things we struggle with. Number two, I am not going to bury the lead like the post-game bounce, which you need to check out after every single Grizzlies game. We are going live immediately after the game as a post-game recap. But we're not going to bury the lead. Cedric Howard is awesome. He was 3 points shy of a 30-burger on Saturday night, 27 points, 6 boards against the Pacers. And he could have had it, but he unselfishly gave the ball up to Javon Small. Now, yes, he was looking for a lob for a dunk, but he gave it to Javon Small, who got the layup and won. Cedric Howard is awesome.
You know how you knew he made it? Is when that game turned into garbage time, he was sitting on the bench. He's a rookie, and he was sitting on the bench in garbage time.
And then he was closing out the game against the Pelicans when it was competitive.
Yeah. So he got his money. I mean, he got his points, and then he went sat on the bench. It was crazy. 27 points in his third game in the NBA. He was absolutely incredible. He was the best player on the court, arguably not named John Morant. And, I mean, if you're looking at trends, you can't help but just if you just say he does not, if you're extrapolating for the next 79 games, if you say he stays right here, I mean, he's first team all rookie right now.
Absolutely. And in the rookie of the year conversation.
If you give him just a veteran's bump, like the rookie scale, you kind of hope you trend up. You may trend down, you trend up, but you look over at the line chart and you're just kind of doing this number right here throughout the season. God help us. I mean, he's gonna be absolutely incredible. And
so
he was.
He is sixth in minutes, but second in points behind John Morant's 22 points per game. He's averaging 19 points per game in 22.7 minutes. 3 defensive, 3.7 rebounds total, 2.3 assists, 1.7 steals, and almost a half a block per game. Not much more you can extrapolate from that. The biggest factor here, my favorite stat is his currently, out of all the Memphis Grizzlies, his assist to turnover ratio is infinity because he's averaging 2.3 steals per game and 0.0 turnovers per game on a team that is plagued with
assists per
turnovers.
It
is assists per turnovers is infinity because he's got 2.3 assists per game and
you said
2.3
steals.
Sorry, 2.3 assists. Listen, I'm tired.
Okay.
I'm tired. We're hanging in there. But 2.3 assists per game, 0.0 turnovers per game for an infinite assist to turnover. That's the biggest thing. Like that right there is my favorite stat about Cedric Howard. He plays with a moxie, a confidence, and a basketball IQ that you don't see of a guy who is in his third game of real NBA basketball.
And it's so unfair to look at it this way. Actually, no. You know what? It's not unfair at all. It's completely relevant. But you look at what he's done versus what Gigi's done in his second year. If you just take out Gigi hasn't played in his third year, and this is the reason why. Look at Gigi's second year. He has done an incredible job of getting in where he fits in. But when you get in where you can fit in, and you do that, and that's why he doesn't have a bunch of turnovers. He's not trying too much. He's not being loose with the ball. He's doing exactly what they're asking him to do, and you excel at that. And then game by game, they just give you a little bit more. It's a trust thing. You've got to be your point guard and your players you're playing with have got to be able to trust you. And he earned that trust in the preseason and in the training camp. and then you are seeing it pay off in spades, and he's just going to keep getting the ball more. I mean, can you imagine a scenario, by the time we get to All-Star break, where John Morant is seeing him as one of his favorite guys to kick out to, because his shooting is legit. Like, this is not a fluke. It's not a fluke at all. You look at the form, that's a repeatable motion. That's an NBA elite three-point shot. If John Morant starts seeing him as his favorite kick-out option, I mean, the literal sky's the limit.
So this will regress back to the mean. I am aware of that. I know how statistics work. Barely.
It's still a small sample size.
He is shooting 70% from the field. He's shooting 73% from the free throw or from threes, but he's shooting 92% from the free throw line. And that's how you can tell an elite shooter is elite.
Is 70-90 good?
I think so. I feel like that's a good slash. Like I don't know numbers. I went to public school in the state of Mississippi, but I feel like that by Mississippi math, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But like in the field goal to the three will regress back to the mean. For 2 games, I didn't think he was going to miss a single shot for his entirety of his career because he didn't until late in that second game. But 92% from the free throw line is how you can tell that the shot is pure, it's repeatable, it's there. He's confident at the free throw line, but he moves with an intelligence. Like he reminds me of like the Raptors in Jurassic Park, especially like the Chris Pratt. Like they're just.
I was hoping you were not going to say Scotty Barnes.
No, absolutely not. No, God, like the actual Velociraptors from Jurassic Park. Yeah, he ain't beating no allegations up there in Toronto, but. Cedric Howard moves with an intelligence that you just rarely see from a guy his age, especially a guy who's the majority of his college career was D3 and D2. Like he barely played it at D1 before he got hurt, but he just moves with a confidence and an intelligence that is refreshing to see from a young guy. And listen, sophomore slumps are a real thing, but you got to think that as a rookie, like this is his floor. Like this is where he's going to be making rookie mistakes. And there's going to be games where we're going to pull our hair out. He's going to just make dumb errors because he's a rookie and that's what they do.
I don't know, man.
But like at the same time, his IQ and EQ are so high. And we talked about that last week. Like his intelligence and his emotional intelligence are so high. Every interview, and I listened to a couple on the drive back from Starkville after the post-game bounce, which was phenomenal with Jared and Kenny and Parrish on Saturday night. But just like he sounds like a polished professional and says things that you would expect a 10, 12-year vet to be saying. And the guy's been in the NBA for literally he's 22 minutes. Like it's barely even any minutes. And he's already sounding like a seasoned pro.
Yeah. So I don't think you can ask for anything more. You had a 3-game homestand, and you went 2-1. You can flush the Friday night game. Listen, weird things happen in the NBA. You're going to see good teams get beat to a pulp, just get pulverized routinely. Every once in a while, you have to throw one out. And so 2-1 after 3 games. You go on your first road trip, and we'll talk about the game that's happening tonight. The first 9 p.m. local tip of the season. Y'all get your naps in. Don't take too long of a nap. You'll wake up a little fuzzy, wondering what day it is. But take you a little short nap after work, after dinner, and lock in for a 9 p.m. tip as the Grizzlies are going to play their first road game in Golden State. And Golden State is giving Al Horford the night off.
Because they said that they are more focused on the Clippers game. And right now on FanDuel, the Warriors are a 9-point favorite. You can go bet this.
Sure,
they don't have all the player props up just yet, but the Grizz are plus 285 on the money line. The Warriors are undefeated on this young season. They're coming in. They're a team that has played really well. And Memphis obviously has their hands full at 9 o'clock. But tune in afterwards for the postgame bounce. Jared Davison is leading the charge on that one. I will be with y'all on Wednesday. The Warriors are 2-1. They're 1-0 at home. They're undefeated at home. Okay. And so we're playing at the Warriors, and the over-under set at 238.5 right now on FanDuel.
Steph Curry is averaging 33 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists a game. Jimmy Butler is averaging 22, 4, and 5. I was going to look at this real quick just to see how many free throws Jimmy Butler's taken. He took 10 free throws in game number 3. In game number 2, he took 8. This is the one that's crazy. Against the Lakers opening night, took 16 free throws. So
that ain't SGA numbers. Yeah, that's not SGA numbers. But speaking of the last thing I want to talk about on this, last thing I want to talk about the Heat Check before we transition to college football. Drew, can you tell me who is leading the team in blocks right now?
It's obvious. I feel very confident saying it's Santi Aldama.
But he's second with 1.3 blocks per game. Jaren Jackson Jr. is leading the team with 2.3. But Santi Aldama's had some of the biggest and most clutch blocks in the entire season. Like he's still a revolving door on defense. He's leading the team in rebounds at 7.3. But Santi Aldama's rim protection has been solid this year.
Let me say something.
Calm down. Calm down. I know you're yelling in the comments. Calm down.
There are no perfect players in the NBA. Everybody's got their holes.
Except Cedric Coward.
Except obviously Cedric Coward, the Michael Jordan. Yes. Eventually we're gonna have a Be Like Said commercial. Just wait.
Yeah, Cedric Coward is the Kawhi Leonards of Michael Jordans.
That sounds like an insult.
It's not.
That sounds like an injured Michael
he's
Jordan.
He's the Michael Jordan of Kawhi Leonards.
There you go.
There it is. The Michael Jordan of Kawhi Leonards.
I don't want the Kawhi Leonards of Michael Jordans. I feel like
I want him to actually plant trees and hoop.
Yeah. Where was that? Oh, if your hole in your game is going to be you can't stay in front of somebody, one of the best assets you can excel at that will help is being able to pin it off the backboard when they get past you. So Santi Aldama has been really good, and I feel like we're going to have, I hope anyways, we're going to have an intervention with the haters of Santi and say, like, listen, much like we've just had to get over the fact that Jaren cannot rebound, we're just going to have to get over the fact that Santi cannot stay in front of somebody, but you've got to take that if you're going to get the 7-foot offensive guy and a guy that can also block a few shots. I'm hoping that's a conversation we're going to have.
Agreed. Otherwise, and that conversation could lead to, well, who are we going to move Santi for? Because that makes him a very valuable trade asset at the deadline. But that's our Memphis Grizzlies talk for today. Listen, if anything crazy happened in the wee hours of the night on Sunday or Monday, we'll talk with y'all tomorrow. In the meantime, it is still our favorite time of the year. And we've got college football to talk about. We talk about winners, so Drew's going to go first. I'm going to be sad for a minute, but then we're going to talk about Brian Kelly.
We can't leave this show with you ending it on a –
All right, fine. I'll go first. Drew will go, and then we'll talk about Brian Kelly and the most sought-after jobs in college football.
Welcome to segment 3 of the $2 Sports Show, number 1 in our hearts, and number 3 on the docket, number 1 in our hearts. Big college football weekend. I believe there were 4 teams on bye this weekend for the SEC, so it made for a lighter SEC slate. But we did have some outcomes that cost some schools and made some coaches lots of money, and so we'll get to that. We'll end the show there, but. Rusty, I'll just set it up for you, and I'll let you talk for a second and hit anything you didn't hit in your beef of the week. Mississippi State, this was going to be the year where you hope you're competitive. And by that baseline, I think that's a check in the box. And you hope that maybe you win one, you upset one. That hasn't happened yet. I'll just say, for anybody who wants to fire Lebby, or who anybody Mississippi State fans out there, I want to put you at ease as an Ole Miss fan, a guy that roots against your team or roots for the rival. You got to just be okay. Last year, these outcomes were losses by 30. And if anybody wants to say something to the effect of, Texas sucks, we should have beat them at home, or Florida sucks, we should have beat them on the road, or so-and-so sucks, it turns out they're not as good as we thought they were. Doesn't matter. Y'all are coming from the gutter. You're trying to work your way up. Records, opponent doesn't matter when you're trying to get that first win. And so, by all means, be upset with the loss and don't go overboard here. I think that competition is good.
So that's going to be my whole thing. I've already talked about it. It sucked. I knew when they returned that punt for a touchdown that we'd lost because that's the Mississippi State movie. It happens time and time again. But if you think that firing Jeff Lebby and spending $15 million in buyouts and trying to overcome and overhaul this roster is the right move, I'm sorry. You must be a casual day, like a new fan, because to see where we were last year and how we were just not competitive and barely had a pulse, Drew, Last season was the least amount of Mississippi State football I have watched since graduating from Mississippi State. Like, it was the least amount because it was just not competitive. I even suffered through the Zach Arnett year, and it was bad. And last year, at times, was just as bad, if not a little bit worse.
Yeah.
And so for this year, for us to be competitive, like, it sucks being the bridesmaid and never the bride. Like, trust me, I hate losing worse than any. Drew can tell you I'm one of the most competitive people in the world when it comes to our show, when it comes to football, when it comes to literally anything. I'm hyper competitive, and I hate losing. I hated losing that game Saturday night. But if you can't look at this team and see that it is night and day different from last year, I don't know what to tell you, man. This team is better. We're fighting. We're competitive. Blake Shapen is not the answer. He's a fifth-year senior, but he played a well of a game. He had 381 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. He made some late bad decisions, just an inexcusable muff, just dropping the football on a pass, taking some big sacks late. But, like, this team is better. But the fact that we're competitive and expecting to win some of these games tells you how far we've come. Like, yes, I get it. Kirk Cignetti has turned Indiana around to a playoff team in 1 or 2 years. But Jeff Lebby's an OC transitioning to a head coach. This is his first head coaching job, and his offense works, but he goes away from it. He makes some poor in-game decisions that are to be expected from a first-time head coach. Like, Lane Kiffin made these decisions in his first job. Nick Saban's first couple of years weren't perfect. And I'm not saying –
Kiffin made a couple decisions Saturday.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that Jeff Lebby's going to be either one of those guys, but, like, the fact that we're competitive and expecting to be in these games and as a fan base expecting to win tells you what he's done with this program so far. We still have – and he talks about it like, yes, it sucks losing these close games, and we're not where we want to be. We still have work to do. That's where I can hang my hat on this. We are better than what we were. There's still work to do, but you can see week in and week out, there's more fight. There's more competitiveness in this team. We have a pulse, and I freaking hate losing like this. Like, I still feel like I got kicked in the nuts last night. Like, it's still like it'll hit me at random points, and I'm just like, ugh. And I hate it because I was there, and it was worse in person. I promise you. Whatever you watched on TV, it was worse in person. But this team is better than what it was last year. Give Lebby time. The Kamario Taylor time is coming, and it's going to be so much better. So brighter days are ahead. It sucks. I'm reeling in the loss like I feel like everybody else. But this team is better than what it was last year.
Yeah, unfortunately for Mississippi State fans who are wanting to go to Kamario Taylor, your bye week was at a weird time where Mississippi State was 4-1 going into the bye, 4-2 going into the bye, and there wasn't really a time. You didn't really think it was time to go to Kamario Taylor yet. Kamario Taylor is not going to be as good as Blake Shapen. I don't feel any. There is no chance where Kamario Taylor gives Mississippi State a better chance to win in Fayetteville next week than Blake Shapen. It's just whether or not you're ready to start the future. You're letting him take his lumps or not. And so that'll be interesting going forward.
If you lose to Arkansas, like, it's time. But if you go win, like, then you kind of ride it out. But if you lose to Arkansas, then what do you have? What good is it to start Blake Shapen for the last 3 years?
And then if you play that scenario out, you're going to let his first start be at home against Georgia. So, I mean, there's cons to that there too. So, listen, I still think Mississippi State will upset somebody. They're just in the law.
The longer it goes, the more likely it becomes Ole Miss.
Listen, if Ole Miss ends up being 11-1 going into a bye week before the Egg Bowl, I'm going to be absolutely terrified. We're not going to be able to have a show. I'm not going to be able to talk. I'm going to be biting my fingernails until there's none left. I'll end up, by the time the game gets up here, I'll just be biting knuckles because I'll have no fingernails left. All right, so let's talk about Ole Miss. I do think Mississippi State gets a win, though. The law of averages. Unless you just give up, the law of averages have to go in your favor.
I think we'll beat Arkansas
point.
this weekend. I do. I genuinely think we'll beat Arkansas.
All right, so Ole Miss goes on the road and gets, in my opinion, the most important win of the Lane Kiffin era.
I'll go first. I'll go first. You went first on Mississippi State. I'll go first.
Okay,
I'll be really
feel
brief.
free to set me up. Yeah,
I agree. I think Ole Miss beating Oklahoma is the most important win for a few reasons. Number one, it gives Lane Kiffin incentive to stay in Oxford. With Florida kicking down the door, yes, like right now it's probably a lateral move. I do think the coffers are a bit deeper at Florida. Coaches like to go places where winning
We'll
has been
get there.
done before. We'll get there. This is my opinion. You're going to have yours. I think
Okay.
the coffers are deeper at Florida. I think that the state is richer in football talent. Coaches like to go where people have won before for whatever reason and think that they can go follow that up and win titles. But in the Lane Kiffin era, I don't think there was a more important time to win a game. And this was a game that you had to earn. Oklahoma was not going quietly into the night. It felt like every time, from what I watched of it, Oklahoma, anytime Ole Miss got comfortable, Oklahoma would come roaring back until late. And then Ole Miss pulled away in the fourth quarter, shut them out in the fourth quarter, and got that kind of legacy-defining win. This was a playoff elimination game is what it felt like.
Yes.
And Ole Miss
I
found a way
believe
to win. Lane Kiffin called a beautiful game. It was a strong effort. It wasn't perfect, but it was a strong effort to beat Oklahoma. And I think for Ole Miss fans, this is what you needed to keep Lane Kiffin in Oxford a little longer until the news dropped earlier today. And that's all I'll say.
Yeah, we're going to get to the coaching search. I got plenty we'll talk about with the new opening coming up. But as far as the Oklahoma game is concerned, I do believe it is the most important win that Ole Miss has had so far. That goalpost keeps getting moved because you keep going up in, consequences if you lose. I don't think, and I'll say this for Oklahoma now, I would have said it if Ole Miss lost. I don't think that either of these teams end at 2 losses. I thought the team that lost this game probably had at least another loss coming. There's just there's too much at stake to play this much of the season with no wiggle room at all. And so I thought it was a really, really big win for Ole Miss. And listen, I think watching that game, Ole Miss was just straight up better than Oklahoma. And I think to a degree that even Lane didn't realize going into that game. Lane did some weird stuff in that game, especially in the first half. Went forward on 4th down on their own 25-yard line on 4th and 1 in a game that you were winning by 2 scores at that point, and you allow Oklahoma to kick a field goal, take it into overtime, get a little hairy. In no point in that football game should Ole Miss have been down by fewer than 10 points. It's inexplicable unless you just give them here, give them there. Trinidad Chambliss was absolutely phenomenal. It's the first time that I will just say hats off, and for the rest of the season, he's my guy. Like I know I'm late probably, but I would rather just kind of stay medium until I truly felt it, and I've truly felt it. Unlike the Georgia game, it got a little tight late, and he overcame it. He showed up. He took that extra leap in the fourth quarter to be super dependable. He missed some throws. Everybody misses some throws. He's not perfect. But I thought Trinidad Chambliss was incredible. I thought the Ole Miss defense showed up. And Lane was just a little weird. You could tell he had a lot of pressure on him in that game. He was, for a guy that's really vocal and animated on the sidelines, he was that to the nth degree, including to the point to where one of the Oklahoma guys came up to shake his hand as he's starting the interview. I don't know if you saw this or not. I think it was Laura or one of the sideline reporters came up to him and talked to him after the win, and one of the Oklahoma defenders came up to kind of dap him up. And Lane just said, like, yeah, you were talking a lot during that game. You're not talking as loud now. And he was just like, hey, he was chirping to me. He looks at her. It's Allie LaForce, I think. Looked at her and said, he said, he was talking mad stuff to me all game long. And just, you could tell he was just very animated. And I think if Lane plays that straight, Ole Miss was just better than Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma's going to lose at least one more game this year. That was the first of 5 straight ranked games going into that game. Now LSU's on the back end of that. They're no longer ranked anymore. So 4 straight ranked games. There's massive questions for that to me. I thought Mateer was very bad, just frankly speaking. And I heard a quote and I was like, I think after watching my first full Mateer game, start to finish, it fits. He is a fun quarterback more than he's a good quarterback. The dude's he's a gunslinger. He's going to do some crazy stuff. On 4th and 5, down by 8, he had a man wide open on a little 7-yard out route with not a guy within 20 yards, and he decided to throw it across the field to the other sideline for like a 40-yard gain that he just didn't have the arm for because of his thumb injury. Like, I thought that Lane Kiffin. I mean, I thought that Ole Miss played an incredible football game. I thought they were better than Oklahoma, and even more so than what Lane Kiffin thought going into that game. Because there was some stuff there where he was really pushing in the first half, and then the second half they just settled down and was like, I think we're just better. Let's just play normal, regular football.
Yeah. And that's what got you the win, and that's what you needed in that situation. You know, teams like Alabama won in an ugly game as well. Vanderbilt got the big win over Missouri. We're just glossing over these. These will evolve as the week kind of heads out in front of us because there's so much to unpack that we don't want to rush it. But we do want to talk Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly has officially been fired at LSU with a $54 million buyout. The same AD who hired Jimbo Fisher at A&M hired Brian Kelly at LSU. And neither of them are gainfully. Neither of them employed. They're still gainfully making money, but they're not employed anymore.
They fired the AD too. That's news to me.
No. The AD is still there, but the same AD that hired Jimbo Fisher also hired Brian Kelly, and both of them are out. Being Jimbo Fisher and Brian Kelly. My apologies for the confusion there. But Brian Kelly is no longer the head coach at LSU. One of the weirdest fits of all time. Just an awkward, weird hire. Just didn't feel like it fit at all. Couldn't win a big game at Notre Dame, come to LSU, the most competitive conference in the country, and thinking that he can win there, Drew, just was a weird fit from the start. And A&M on Saturday night just bludgeoned that job into the ground. Like, that game was not competitive. The dichotomy of the two teams, the direction of the two teams couldn't be any further apart. And A&M just finally just completely put them to bed. Yeah,
it felt like – it was almost made super relevant in that moment that that team that just beat you like a dog took a washed head coach that you thought was good and you paid a lot of money. They fired him. They went and got the obvious choice in Mike Elko that did not have the glitz and glamour, and they took their program to another level. And LSU was like, what if we fired our coach? Could we not do what Texas A&M is doing right now? We've got the same talent. We've got relatively the same money. This LSU is a top 5 job in the country. I don't think anybody would argue with you about it. What's the point in hanging around here? And LSU is probably the only school not named Alabama or – I'll say just not named Alabama or Georgia, that in this coaching cycle with all the jobs that are open have no fear in firing their coach. They're LSU. Like, Arkansas, somebody. God help you. Like, I hope you've got your guy, but it's going to be down the list on LSU's list. You're not going to get their guy. And Florida is going to be sweating a lot more now because LSU is a real job. That is a job
that's the top 5 job in the country every year
absolutely.
In and year out, with the money, with the players, with the prestige, with the staying power. The state of Louisiana is a strong football state.
Yes.
Like, that will always be a top job, and it's going to be super attractive. On tomorrow's show, we're gonna rank the open jobs, where they land, and who we think will be good fits for those jobs. But that's going to be one that's going to be on any coach's wish list.
I'll argue until I'm blue in the face with anybody who wants to say that Florida is a better job than Ole Miss. I don't believe it. I won't believe it. I can't argue with anybody that says LSU is. I can still state my reasons why I think Lane should stay at Ole Miss, but I can't pretend to convince anybody that LSU is a worse job than Ole Miss.
Yeah, especially when the daughter was a big reason. Your daughter's a big reason.
That's not a thing. Yeah, that's not
dating an LSU Tiger.
That's not a thing. So we can make it a thing. Weeks is probably going pro after this year, right? So.
Very true. But that's going to do it for your Monday edition of the 2 Buck Sports Show. We just wanted to talk about it. Tomorrow, we're going to deep dive on all the open jobs. Drew is going to stay off of ESPN.com, but there was a ranking. We're going to rank the open jobs. We're going to talk about those. We'll recap the Grizzlies game from tonight. We'll give you our Tuesday tastings as well. And you never know what else is going to happen, right? Like, you're going to be going through the week. Like the other day, we woke up at 7:30 to a Shams bomb that the FBI was arresting folks. So you never know what's going to unfold between now and Tuesday, but we will be
this
here
week.
All of it with you. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, go be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. And Drew, tell them why there are no refunds.
That's right, because with the $2, you always get what you pay for. Have a good night, everybody. Get your nap in. Stay up late. Watch the Grizzlies. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the 2 Buck Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.